Okay, and we see the Mr. Robot over there.
Yeah, I changed it slightly according to the topic of today. So what I'm doing is very simple. I'm just using very common tools that also hackers are using. I'm just following, as Andrei already explained, the tactics they are doing. So I'm starting with trying to extract passwords. Then I'm trying to evaluate the Wi-Fi settings, the firewall settings, etc. So I can elaborate where can I move, how can I move, where can I position my malware the best, where can I start services, etc. And then, of course, I'm checking how can I move maybe to another computer to spread the good news of Lockbit, for example, to the whole network. So, and you will see it is amazing, easy. You just need a few lines here. And just to avoid typos, to be honest, I'm always just doing that. And now I have to scroll a little bit. I think I changed the screen resolution. So what I need is just a command prompt.
And guys, it's important to see that Robertino is running this with admin. So if you eliminate the admin problem from your system, you might eliminate a lot of headache along the way. And we're talking about that specifically in our next webinar, which is around admin rights.
Yeah, because usually all these tools try to elevate themselves, etc. And if you have no local admin accounts on the endpoint, that makes it much more difficult for them to run in the admin context, and that also stops them. So you have different lines of defense. And well, let's assume you haven't had bought Heimdal. So I'm just trying to dump right now the passwords. Andrei, your comments on that?
So guys, this is how much it took Robertino. It's literally 0.5 seconds to take 56 megabytes of information from the service in Windows, which stores security and credentials, right? The LSASS service. So it was this hard to do that. Now Robertino will try to query the firewall to see exactly what type of firewall rules are there in the network. Robertino?
Yep, let's give it a shot. And you see, just listing the thing that criminals are always doing is they are gathering as many information as much information as possible, because you can every time use it. Even if it's not this way, you go maybe the other way. So the more information they collect on your systems, the more impact they have at the end of the day.
And unfortunately, they can also sell it, as you guys saw what's happening with those combo lists, right? And that's what they're doing, unfortunately. So that's why it's imperative not to do this. And now, as Robertino is showing, we're attacking, actually we're not attacking, we're checking for wireless routers so that we can see and connect to them and see what other devices are connected there. So in this case, it's not working on this computer since it's a workstation, it's not a laptop.
So nothing to do with the Wi-Fi, but maybe we have something. Okay, we are wired right now. That is something we know. Now let's see, which ports can I use, which services are running. So let's start with Nmap. And you see Open ports, DNS resolution. It's gathering all the information on this endpoint and gives you then the mappings to the services, etc. So that means you have, again, a playlist, a menu you can abuse for lateral movements, for example. In combination, again, with the information, okay, no Wi-Fi, only wired. Let's go this way. Then second is you have the passwords, for example, of shared drives or something like that, where you're connecting to a server. That is also stored right there. So
basically what you're doing right now, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're building your case, basically.
Yeah.
You're starting to obtain information so that you know exactly what you need to do. So now, guys, he searched locally. Now he's going to go search on a computer he found on the network when he did the discovery. He saw a computer on this network, and he tries to do the discovery for that so that he can connect to that computer further. He now sees the discovery information on that computer. And as you can see, guys, it's not rocket science. So unfortunately, some people think that hacking is super difficult, but it's not. And mostly right now, since it's a business, it's super easy. It's anybody can actually start attempting to do so, unfortunately.
Yep, I mean, it is started with the script kiddies back in the decades before, when, first of all, writing a virus was real rocket science. But right now you get, yeah, I would say, how would you call that? It's playing that with Lego. It is just
With Lego,
taking the bit, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. You're
Exactly.
taking
That's
this one,
exactly what I wanted to say, Robertino. So today, buying malware and becoming a hacker, sometimes, actually, we shouldn't even call them hackers. We should call them just cyber criminals, right? But
yeah,
today is like buying Lego and piecing it together. That's it. Okay, so now what are we doing? We finished the port scanning for this remote
yeah.
machine.
So we
We
know
got
right
this
now,
information.
yeah, we got the information, we got accounts, etc. So we are right now going into the, let's say, knock on the door phase. So finding out what can I do with the information. So let's start, first of all, locally. Can I, for example, run regedit and manipulate registry keys on this endpoint? For example, hide myself somewhere at HKey local machine software auto run, Microsoft Windows Explorer, yada yada. You know the tree downwards, auto run. So to be executed every time. Can I store information in the registry? Can I also extract information out of the registry again to use it and to enlarge my collection of data? So that is one step. And now, after doing that, and I have maybe collected some data out of it, let's see. You see, we are now trying to execute on Ronin because we extracted the password, we know the computer, and now we are trying to run ipconfig remotely on that endpoint. Let's see. And maybe it works, maybe not. Maybe I had a typo in the password, or maybe the share is already disconnected. You never know, but at least we can try it. So is anybody at home? And if yes, I'm abusing that share, that information, that connection, again, to use, for example, the admin share, the admin dollar, to again attack that computer, or create a lateral movement, copy the ransomware also to the other computer, start it remotely, and then the process starts again automatically, collecting data, extracting data, dumping it, etc. And after doing that, you see, okay, login failure, maybe the username was wrong. Maybe I have just a typo as professional hacker, you never know. But I'm not a cyber criminal. So now my work is done, and I would hand over to Andrei, because now you have seen what the tactics are, and now you are looking at the indicators, right?
So let's look at the indicators together, guys. I'll just take the screen. Okay, and I'll share back my screen, and we can look at the Heimdal portal now, right? So what did Robertino show us? Let me make sure we see the portal right now, and you guys should see the portal. So basically, Robertino has executed some very, very dangerous commands on that particular virtual machine, right? He has Heimdal on it. Well, Heimdal, just the antivirus by default, would not catch this because this was legitimate action. So it was not something unordinary, right? But it was malware behavior. So what happens is the extended threat protection engine, which is by default added to the Heimdal antivirus, has actually detected a few things, right? And let's look at the time over here. So over here, a few minutes ago, right, at this particular time, let me put more data on the page. So it started at 5:38 p.m., right? With what? With a defense evasion, right? Two tactics of defense evasion: credential access, which is a high alert, right? Defense evasion again, right? The critical alert, credential access, right? Then defense evasion, again, a few tactics, credential access, discovery. Right now, it started to discover across the internet, Wi-Fi password attempt of capture, then discovery again, and lateral movement. So basically, what I'm seeing right now is if we go back to that Mitre attack framework that we saw earlier, do you recognize these? So basically, it started exactly to do the same thing that we saw in that Mitre attack framework, which just antiviruses that are looking at the particular dangerous files, they won't catch this because this is not used with dangerous code, right? With malicious code on your computer. It's not as easy detectable up until the point where you actually detect it, and it's way too late when that happens. So if I wanted to see something, I can just click on this particular detection, not the host name, sorry, I'll go on the detection. Okay, and I can see the categories, the tactics and the techniques that it was doing, right? And let me go back to another one. Let's do the this one. Just a second. This one, right? And now I can see the exact process map that started this, right? What did it start along the way? Is there anything suspicious here up until this particular point when NetSH was started? So this is the level of information that I have after such an event. And of course, to take action on something like this, we would be looking from the threat hunting and action center view. We will be seeing that there's a cluster of endpoints here with some problems. We have the endpoints here, and we just start diving deeper into them, right?